To this now, small business owners in Gqeberha are bearing the brunt of a major power outage in 14 suburbs in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. Now, the outages were caused by overhead transmission towers collapsing due to age and gale force winds. It has been 4 days since areas including Summer Strand, South End, Walmer, as well as Humewood have had electricity. Now, officials say the affected areas will be on a power rotational basis once the temporary transformer from the Kwaford substation has been relocated. Now, the rotational schedule will be revealed, in fact, once the loads have been tested.
Since Friday, we don't have electricity, no power, nothing. So the business has been gone like 0-0. We're not making anything, and especially it's end of month. It's very busy end of month. That's what we can cover whole month cost. But now we are not doing anything, and we still have to pay the people, pay the bills, pay the rent, everything.
We were embarking on different mitigation plans that seeks to put power back to our customers, and then relocation of a transformer from Kwaford was one of the alternatives. That transformer has successfully been put in place, and the terminations and the cabling have been done. As we speak now, the guys on the ground are busy testing the transformer, and all is looking okay, and then it is looking good for it to take load sometime during the day, assuming that everything goes well.
And we stay, of course, with this particular story as we get an update on the situation and how things are going in terms of restoring that electricity supply, especially when you think about the fact that right now you're hearing from some of the business owners who are saying that this is having an adverse impact on their businesses, and also they have to now pay salaries. But at the same time, they cannot work, as they would daily. And also, we believe now that the municipality has now come up with a plan in order to try and put some emergency interventions in order to try and deal with this particular situation. So, of course, they are looking at some areas that will have prolonged power supply issues, but it's understood, in fact, that in some of these areas, there will be rotational power cuts in order to try and mitigate this particular issue. And certainly, aging infrastructure, gale force winds also behind this particular problem. But let's give you an update on the situation. We speak now to Councillor Babalwa Lobishe, who's the Deputy Executive Mayor of the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Appreciate it. Now, we do understand that some high voltage electricity pylons as well have been downed, as some reports are also suggesting that some of the areas could be without power for up to at least 2 weeks. Give us an update on where things stand now.
Thank you very much. Let me greet you and also greet the listeners. It's no longer 14 days. We've set that apart as early as Sunday. We are looking at 7 days maximum. The teams from the Eastern Cape of Eskom and that of the Western Cape have arrived in the city. They've started working. 48 poles have been installed already. And tonight we are still, even as I'm speaking to you, testing the transformer that is being installed to supply the whole of Summer Strand area.
Pardon me, Deputy Mayor, some of the areas, of course, that have been concerned about the possibility of 2 weeks, as you say now, it's been revised to 7 days. Is this for all the areas?
It's for all the areas, yes. And the 7 days lapses on Sunday.
Okay. And when it comes then to the impact, before we even get to some of the interventions that have been put in place, we just heard from a business owner now who says that, things have been difficult. They can't function as they normally would, and they still have to pay the salaries. And then, of course, you look at the residents on the ground who are talking about this. Give us a glimpse of how this has impacted the residents there.
Well, I think it's quite unfortunate what we find ourselves in, because it's due to unpredictable weather conditions in our city. Gale force winds are the reasons why we have these collapsing before we even complete the work that we are doing. If you look, the tall poles that you see, that are standing next to these ones that are corroded are the poles that we have installed, predicting that these ones that are old and dilapidating might collapse. But unfortunately, our predictions were wrong due to the weather conditions. I think the part of the pain in this situation are small businesses that are affected in the area. Yes, the business chamber has been with us since Saturday in our joint operations center, where we were saying they must try and assist all businesses. Where they are failing, they will then inform us as the municipality. But up to now, the ones that have came forth, we have tried to mitigate, but unfortunately, the services we have of mobile substations must be plugged into the power. So those that are far from service stations suffer most.
Yeah.
Hence, we are saying tonight we must have the transformer that has been transported from Quaford area to Summerstrand working, so as to mitigate any further damage to revenue and to the employees that are working within the Summerstrand area.
And I suppose now, of course, as you say, that, you know, this was due to unpredictable weather conditions, but at the same time, they did find infrastructure in some parts that is aging and unfortunately needs to be replaced. There's now emergency interventions in place. Is that part of the plan as well to address some of this aging infrastructure?
Yes, it's part of the plan, and I think even before this has happened, we've anticipated it because it's part of the budget that we've endorsed the maintenance plan of all electrical poles within the area. It's within the sea, so corrosion happens much faster than any other part of the city. And we want to humbly apologize to our residents. It's not a desired environment. Fortunately, they have been with us since Saturday morning. As early as 7:30, we were at the Jock Center. Even today, we've just finished a meeting so that we are able to consolidate better plans. Tomorrow, we are receiving the minister. We are hoping that the team will be extended.
Which minister?
Minister Ramakhupa is coming tomorrow to the city. Hopefully, he is going to dispatch a large number of employees that is going to assist us. But he will find us working. There's a lot of work that we've done thus far. We are almost on completion of the installation of poles. What is left is for the electricity to be hanged on the poles, the 48 poles that are in.
Yeah, and in terms of these 48 poles and this electricity update, what is your, your target? I know you, of course, are saying that you've revised it down to 7 days, but these 48 poles and for electricity to start working, what is your target there as far as these poles specifically are concerned?
There's 17 left that is supposed to be put up, and I think these ones that are up already are going to be able to carry what we anticipate to have. We've tried with the warmer area on Sunday to try and revive electricity within warmer area. Because of the load on the other poles, it tripped everything. So there's going to be testing that's going to run even tonight. And we will be told, and surely tomorrow morning we'll have better results and better strategies on which areas do we put in lesser than the load that we have, so that we have areas up and having the lights on.
And when it comes into having the lights on, would you say that the partnerships that you've been able to strike here have also assisted? I mean, looking at the fact that you've now even, established this particular JOC, which includes of these different bodies, ESCOM as well, and all of that, would you say that that also helped to revise down the time from 14 to 7 days?
Eskom has been amazing because even the pricing, what we were getting from the private sector and what we are getting from Eskom is much better, and also in terms of the strategies they have brought in. When we engaged private contractors on bringing a plan forth, it was way complicated and beyond the 14 days. When Eskom arrived, they spoke of 14 days, and a day later they spoke of 7 days if we increase manpower. And we've increased manpower, the picture looks much better, and already the 48 poles are up. If you look at the area, it's more than 2 kilometers that those poles must be on. And it's quite a lot of work. Yes, I'm not a technical person, but with a naked eye, it shows that there's a lot of work that one ought to consider before we can say they are slow in what they are doing. But we've tried with WOMA, we've pushed them very far to say they must satellite the whole WOMA area. And the results were that the electricity collapsed because it could not carry a lot of load at once.
All right, thank you so much for your time. And as you say, we are not technical people, but we do try to understand exactly what's going on. But thank you so much for giving us that update. And let's see then what happens in 7 days. As you say, that the days have now been revised down. But I appreciate you giving our viewers an update there. That was Councillor Babalwa Lobishe, Deputy Executive Mayor of the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality.